So there's probably going to be one more move before the WNBA season starts. And it has to be, I think it's fair to make the assumption that after trading Natasha Cloud, and we can't forget, like, Natasha Cloud was traded for a package that they turned down a month ago. They were offered that exact package a month ago, tried to get something more for Cloud. And in the end, they decided, you know what, we'll take that. We'll take the offer. So, for me, I think it's more likely than not that Marina Mabry ends up getting traded, no matter what they've said. They also said they weren't going to trade Natasha Cloud. They traded Natasha Cloud. And the Marina Mabry trade could legitimately be, could actually be something that could not necessarily decide the title, but would have a big impact on the WNBA championship. So with this, you got to look at teams that could make the Marina Mabry trade. Marina Mabry is probably worth less than Natasha Cloud. Like, you're not going to get as much for Cloud as you can get for Mabry. But what you could potentially get is you could get a late first round pick. You could get a late first round pick, maybe a mid to late first round pick. It's about what you're going to get for Marina Mabry, especially if you are in the tankathon mode. That's probably the best you can get. But with that being said, what teams could potentially be going after Marina Mabry? And this is looking at teams that don't have cap room, teams that maybe do have cap room. And I do think a team that I think would be very interested in signing Marina Mabry. I'm not sure Marina Mabry would be happy going there, but I think a team very interested in trading for Marina Mabry is going to be the Golden State Valkyries. Like, people do not understand what asset the Valkyries have that I think the Sun might look to trade for Marina Mabry. Are they getting the 5th pick for Marina Mabry? No. They might get the 5th pick, but they would have to trade one of 7 or 8. And I think you might be able to get, like, there are good players on the Marina Mabry, or on this roster. There really are. But there's one player that I think is going to potentially be the player to push them over the edge. Carla Leite. She is someone who has not played a WNBA game. And if you guys don't know, Rashad Mazian has coached her before. Coached her in the as far as I'm aware, to a EuroLeague final last year. And obviously at the start of the season was coaching her this year, and it's a team that has made the Euro Cup final. So, okay, no, sorry, she didn't. She played for Tarbes last year. She played for a different team last year, but he coached her at the start of this year. Coached her at the start of the year, and she is somebody that has been in and around the European system, was in the Tony Parker Academy, and is well known. So I think she could be in this trade. And I think a really interesting trade that the Valkyries could make is they could trade her. They obviously, I don't think, can trade Kiara Linskens, which would be a really interesting one because, again, someone that he coached for the Belgian national team. But I think if she wanted to go to, it would have happened. But I think you're probably going to get her, pick 5, and have to give up pick 8. It might be Marina Mabry and 8 for Leite and 5. And again, she was a first round pick last year. So, and she'd be a first round pick if she was in this year's draft. She's just technically too young, but she would be a first round pick. So you've got a first round pick from last year, plus pick 5 from Marina Mabry and 8. I think that is an interesting trade. Julie Van Loo as well. Could be very interesting for the Sun, again with the Belgian coach. That could be an interesting one. Maybe add Van Loo to that. It could be really interesting, but still, I'm not entirely sure of what they're going to do. Other teams that could be interesting, and these are teams that where it can make an actual difference. Where I think that it can make a difference. Sorry, I'm not going to click at the tickets. Let's go to standings. I think it can make a difference to the Lynx or the Seattle Storm. As far as I'm aware, both, or do the Seattle Storm have the cap space? I know the Lynx definitely will, especially with the Lynx, because they'll have to probably trade Jessica Shepard. Like, Shepard probably has to be in that if they haven't suspended her contract. If they have cap room. Like, it would probably be something like Diamond Miller and pick 12 for Marina Mabry. Like, Diamond Miller, again, not somebody who I project to be anything crazy in the WNBA. Still a player that you thought the Valkyries would have taken. And you're not getting any of the starting 5. And I don't know what story is with Natasha Heidemann. But with that, like, it basically allows you to sign the trade Diamond Miller, who's not going to be in the rotation. And, like, realistically, this team gets Marina Mabry down. And they have the best bench guard in the league. Like, again, Heidemann is going to be probably their bench 1. You have Grace Berger as well, who can kind of run the 1 a little bit. And I don't foresee them really using much with 12. Or say with pick 11. So it would be pick 11, sorry, not 12. 11 and Diamond Miller from Marina Mabry. And, like, if that's something they can afford to do, I think they should do it. Like, having Marina Mabry as a backup to Kayla McBride. Mabry's not quite McBride in the defensive end, but on the offensive end, on her day, she can do very similar things to what McBride does. She passes the ball extremely well. And I thought she was a seamless fit for what the Sun did on offense last year. I think she'd be a seamless fit for what the Minnesota Lynx do. And I think the Minnesota Lynx are going to make one more move. I do. Whether that be holding out the cap room to bring in MMA Simon, or whether that be trading for Marina Mabry. The Lynx, as of right now, stagnated, whereas the Liberty got better. And this is a year to go win now. There is no need saying, oh, you know, we're going to try to be good next year. Because every player on the freaking team is a free agent next year. Other than Dorka, who's on a rookie contract. Diamond Miller is on a rookie contract, who's not going to be that good. And Elisa Peely, who's not that good. Like, Elisa Peely is 5'10", maybe. That's an exaggeration. She's at most 6 foot. Like, this is a team that could be wiped out in 2026. And you got to go for it this year. So, I think the Marina Mabry trade to them makes sense. And I do think MMA Simon is somebody that, if she goes to Minnesota, just give them the championship now. If she goes to the Liberty, give them the championship now. But I think these teams, like the Fever, obviously don't have the cap room to make any sort of trade. And they don't even have the assets really to make any sort of trade. Like, it would have taken them to have made the trade with Katie Lou still on the team and gone like Katie Lou on Hull for Katie Lou, Hull, and pick 19 for Mabry or something, which they can't do anymore because Katie Lou's not on the team anymore. But that's something that was off. That's off. The Aces can't afford her. The Mercury, I don't think the Mercury can afford. Maybe the Mercury can afford her, but the Mercury don't have the assets to make the trade. Like, they don't have a first round pick. Like, they genuinely do not have anything crazy that the Sun, I think, will take. Like, if you look at the Mercury's roster right now. The Mercury's roster, they're not giving away any of their good players. You might get Natasha Mack. You might get Mack Celeste Taylor. No, there's no trade the Phoenix Mercury can make that would be in any way comparable to what the Lynx can do. But I think it is a matter of when, not if, Marina Mabry gets traded. And yes, they publicly said they were not going to trade Marina Mabry. They also said they weren't going to trade Natasha Cloud. And they literally accepted a trade package they got offered a month ago that they declined. So I think there's going to be a big trade coming. And I think it's going to be Marina Mabry. More than likely to the Minnesota Lynx. But if the Seattle Storm can find some way of doing this as well, because I know the Storm, obviously, if they have the cap room, because I know, obviously, they would have had the room, but paying Gabby Williams probably, giving her the Supermax, probably didn't help things. But if there's any way that they did lose Mercedes Russell as well. If they can find a way to, because her contract's not in the books. Sorry, I forgot the Seattle Storm gave her a damn max. I forgot they gave Alicia Clark a near max contract. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That is the video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this will change anything? I do think that the Liberty have gone well and truly clear in the best team in the best team of the WNBA. Basically, you have gotten rid of Sloot from last year and Kayla Thornton, but you've added in an improved Leonie Phoebus because she's only just getting older and getting better. An improvement to Markeisha Davis, Maureen Johannes, and Tash Cloud, which is a much better team. But anyway, I'll see you guys.